There's the managed environment for the big companies.
Yeah.
The users that are, they work for a place that's paying for a subscription for a managed environment. And then there's these other people who are like, you know what, that would be awesome, but I just don't have the budget. My projects are smaller. You know what, I just want to sort of manually exchange my files on Dropbox. This concept really works at both of those levels. So let's say in an environment where we've got Omniverse kind of spanning everything, and then we've got Sequent and Saks, and then maybe throw in Revisto, right, for issue tracking during construction, right? And people are creating TGNs inside of each of these apps and sharing them with each other. And as we mentioned, right, if I create a TGN in Saks, and then I've got a bunch of people who are not Saks users, but they're in Omniverse, right? They see my TGN, they click on it.
Yeah.
Right. And the TGN says, oh, well, I better check the iTwin Hub service for the latest version of the models that are required to express this TGN. And here they come down, they rain down from the cloud and they populate the app that I'm in, right? Omniverse, right? Likewise, the TGN knows I better check and see for the, maybe somebody edited the settings on the TGN. That's all, it's all cloud managed. Right, so he's seeing the latest version of what the author wanted him to see. I mean, we'll have some kind of UI button or some feature that allows you to create a link and share a link to any TGN. Yes, and with access control, right? All right. And then if you want to do it, the old school way where you just don't have the budget for any of the managed environment, you can just share your TGNs, that sit in your TRE file. You can just put the file on Dropbox along with your models, right? And call the guy or something, right? So, right. And which is also like kind of the model of the archiving, at some point at the end. Okay. So it improves workflow. Period. That's the idea. Yeah, we can talk about this slide later, but there are some common types of work that are repeated throughout an entire workflow over and over again, and this slide is about that. So there's both human understanding and machine understanding. The latter is about phase 2 of Tangerine, but that's not for this. Okay, we come back to that someday in the future. All right, we'll have an app, right? A Tangerine app built on the iTwins platform. Then there's open source, so innovation in the wild. So we could put our TGN SDK, put our libraries up on GitHub. On the open source side, there could be open source developers who they don't want to have anything to do with it. They just want to completely royalty-free license, go down their own branch and stay there and never be seen or heard from again, right? They're just doing, right? But there are others who want to contribute back, to the trunk. So I think different license possibilities for those different kinds of scenarios, right? But yeah, we want to encourage diverse,
Exactly. Let's not pretend that we've got every answer to every problem right now.
Yes, absolutely. This is about, we have really good developers at Tangerine who are really good at developing TGN and keeping one eye on, enhancing it and making it more and more powerful and cover more and more and more scenarios and more data types and so on. And at the same time, sort of keeping another eye on how do we keep this stuff portable in the long run, right? This is a balancing act, right? We want people to have confidence that if they share a TGN with another user in another app, that it'll be expressible reliably. But we also want this thing to advance and evolve at the same time. So on the TGN Pro concept, we see there will be some partner developers, application. There'll be software companies with various applications, and they see, oh, look, TGN is the thing, man, that's really useful. We could take the open source SDK and do it ourselves, but it'd probably be to our advantage to do it in partnership. So let's partner with Tangerine, right, to help us do this right in our app.
And that might be because they've been asked to do that as well by a company, a major customer of theirs that is seeing the value of this as well. But right. Yeah, okay, so there's lots of ways in which that might be required.
And then lastly, there's this TGN consortium. Let's say this catches on, everyone sees the value. Okay. Anyway, it's the start of some thinking. I have some more detail. Let me show just one more slide. I'll skip through a whole bunch of stuff here. This is what we want to see happen. With TGN in the world, we're going to see increased utilization of modeling applications. So I just stole this financial data. I didn't steal it, right? It's on the web. Autodesk's financial report for January 31, 2021. And even after 20 years of BIM, their AEC revenue is 449 million, for 3 months. And their AutoCAD revenue is 64% of. So when TGN comes into the world, I think we're going to see this. The traditional CAD apps are going to be less needed, right? People are going to want to express these attention focusing techniques in a more modern way, right? So they'll use apps that have TGN integrated, and the utilization of those apps will increase. That's the basic concept. Okay. Yeah. Oh, and final thought. The CAD apps, they're not going to completely disappear. Now, I don't have a slide on this, but if you go back to the video, Sam's video, you notice that in the middle of, or near the middle of each TGN rig, the camera transformed to a parallel projection camera. And you ended up looking at something that kind of, it looks like a drawing, right? So part of the TGN structure is we're going to implement a CAD format, DGN, DWG, SVG, maybe some others, and a CAD format IO at that P2 position of each TGN. Yep. So it'll be in and out. You can export out if you've got a curtain wall fabricator that's how they work. They're still doing it that way, right? They just need these things. We can unfold the P2 position of each TGN into a flat array, a custom flat array, automatically, and export that to the CAD format they want. They do their edits in their CAD application, whatever it is, and then we take them back. And the TGN function says, oh, thanks for giving me these edited P2 graphics back. I will put them back where they belong inside each TGN at the right position, orientation in the environment. So this allows people to work the way they want, and it allows everybody to see what's going on, what the implications are. So you can take those shop drawings, for example, see them in the environment where they really are to understand them better, and do a QA, QC against both the shop drawing and the modeled environment and proceed accordingly. That's it.
Rob, that's the best. Right, I'm going to stop recording.